Hi guys, my name is Jasmine and I was addicted to the little blue bottles, Feel Free by Botanic Tonics that are going absolutely viral right now, and I'm going to do a little Q&A on the most commonly asked questions I get about my addiction. To give some context, I was drinking 9 to 12 bottles a day at the height of my addiction, sometimes more than that, sometimes less, but let's get into what these shots are about and why everyone is talking about them. First question is, what are the ingredients in Feel Free? The ingredients of Feel Free consist of these two ingredients, kava and kratom. I believe kratom is the primarily addictive ingredient in these tonics, but something about the way it's combined with the kava, it just makes it really sinister. What is the serving size? The serving size is no more than 1 bottle a day, and I get a lot of comments saying, it says 1 bottle is a serving size. Why would you drink so many bottles in a day? Addiction doesn't adhere to serving sizes. Next question is, what does it make you feel like? So it gives you a very heightened sense of euphoria, but it's extremely quick-lived, and there's a pretty quick come down after about 30 minutes to an hour. I see a lot of people on this app trying it out because they're curious about the feeling. Like, you do not want to mess with these things, and this is your warning. Just don't try it because you're asking for something bad to happen. So where are they sold? Primarily gas stations, CBD stores, but they used to be sold when they first came out, when I first got addicted to them, in high-end wellness stores. So think like Sun Life Organics, Erewhon. I first heard about them on the Skinny Confidential podcast. They were on Joe Rogan, very much promoted as an all-natural wellness tonic. So how much do they cost? They cost anywhere from $7 to $12 a pop, depending on where you buy them from, which is not cheap. So how much was I spending a day? You can probably pretty easily do the math. I was spending well over $100 a day at the height of my addiction, $3,000 a month at least during the last 2 months of my addiction when it was at its absolute highest, which is, it just pains me to say, but that's how addiction works. You lose all reasoning. I'm a pretty responsible person financially. That just went out the window because your mind is just constantly thinking about using. So what were the side effects of taking so many of these? You know, at first it was just moodiness after I would take one, talking about that initial come down that you have from them. Then when I developed more of a physical dependency and not just a mental dependency, it was super dry and flaky skin from the kava. I was throwing up a lot because they made me really sick. I was super tired, lethargic, depressed, anxious, just could not get out of bed without taking one to just reduce my anxiety and feel some sort of normalcy. Also, if you want to go more in depth on these questions or like learn more about the addiction, I have so many videos on my page. I talk about it all the time. But the next question is, how did I stop? So I did not tell anybody about this addiction for the longest time. I kept it very, very secretive. I lived alone, could very easily hide the bottles, kept them hidden in my car, in my apartment. But the thing that helped me get sober was actually telling someone close to me. First, I told my mom, I told my fiance at the time, now husband, I told my best friend, and like having those 3 people in my corner really helped me get clean. As an addict, it's like you can't just stop on your own. You need help, you need community, you need people that are going to support you, and that is the number one thing I tell people when they ask me, how did I stop? I've been clean since March of last year. Thank God. God is good. He definitely redeemed me of that addiction. I'm very, very grateful. But it did a number on my mental health. So I would say I did not get to a good place mentally until 6 months of sobriety from these, because that's what I tell people too who want to try them. They mess up your brain chemistry so badly. I've never experienced anything like this in my life. So please be careful. You have to give yourself time for your dopamine to re-regulate, to feel good again, to feel like yourself, to feel like you can really be happy without them. So that takes time. But yeah, I hope this provides some insight as to what these shots are like, how they affect you, just kind of the history and things like that. And please stay safe. Don't try these. Please be careful. And I love you guys.